Today on the channel, we talk about one of the most controversial, canceled Mattel Elites of all time, as we have the Elite 91 Chase Edition Rob Van Dam.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another WWE Mattel Elite unboxing and review. And today we've got something entirely different, as we've got an extremely rare action figure, as we have the canceled Elite Series 91 Chase Rob Van Dam. But remember, for all your other action figure needs from Mattel, WWE, AEW, you name it, even Super 7, hit up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle to save 10%. So now this is an interesting one here today. Now, this figure was canceled. This figure was never released to the general public. It got pretty close, as we all know, but we had a fortunate run from Mattel of canceled figures. This one, of course, and then the Chief Jay Strongbow. Now, Chief Jay Strongbow we have seen on eBay and online selling upwards to $3,000 for that figure. Absolutely insanity. Nothing against Chief Jay Strongbow. Nothing against the guy. Of course, he was canceled because he is actually not an Indian. I have heard from the comments below and some of the comments in my video that the headdress he was wearing in that action figure is something very sacred, that you, if you are not a Native American, you should not have that on. Of course, we know Chief Jay Strongbow, I believe Joe Scarpa, I believe was his name, and he was an Italian playing an Indian. Times were different, as we all know. That happened all the time back in the Westerns and Hollywood, things like that. But a lot has changed over the last few years. A lot of cancel culture is out there, and Chief Jay Strongbow unfortunately canceled. I get it, but at the same time, it doesn't work me up, but you got to be sensitive to everybody out there. Mattel being a global brand, they got to be careful with what they're doing. Unfortunately, it got as far as it did to be canceled. Now, some of these have stumbled out, as we know, going for around $3,000 right now. I do not see that as sustainable. I think a lot of people are caught up in the old FOMO of Chief Jay Strongbow, and if you take that whole step back, how many really die-hard Chief Jay Strongbow fans are there out there? I don't think there's a whole lot, and the ones that are still around, unfortunately, they are dying off every single day. Now, I would have picked it up back in the day, but I think if it was released, I think you'd see a Mae Young situation with that figure. As we go back to the Classic Superstars days, that Chief Jay Strongbow was one of the all-time peg warmers in the Classic Superstars days. So I think it's just a lot of the canceled thing, people wanting that, it's a rare figure, people wanting it, so it's really jumped the price up there, but I do think it will start to come back down as we see more and more of those released. That being said, we turn our attention to this Rob Van Dam that has been canceled. We have not seen very many, few at all, come out of these ones. A few, just a couple, and I don't know if even any have sold on eBay yet. I'm sure maybe one or two, but most of the time it is customs, people making customs of this gear. This is not the case. This actually came from overseas, as you can imagine. I am not at liberty to tell my sources where I got this from, all that kind of fun stuff, so I got to keep that on the down low, but I got an offer for this, and I couldn't refuse it. Being a hardcore ECW guy fan, a big Rob Van Dam fan, and of course he is wearing his singlet from WrestleMania 23 here, and that's where the controversy begins with this one, as a very controversial singlet, as the Rising Sun logo is very offensive to the Japanese people. A lot of people didn't even know that, myself included, until the cancel nature of this one came out. So it's a very, very interesting piece. Once again, very, very rare at this time. There is not many of these coming out there. And I think after all things are said and done, I think this will be a much rarer piece than Chief Jay Strongbow, because I think nobody would deny Rob Van Dam at this point in time is way more popular than Chief Jay Strongbow ever was. I think that's fair enough. Rob Van Dam, very popular wrestler, of course, Monday Night, Mr. Monday Night himself, and a favorite of mine. So I knew I had to have this, and when I got an offer for it at a nice price, I said, you know what, I'm all in on this one. And that's where we turn it to today, and we're going to do this unboxing and review. Yes, unboxing and review like we do all the other ones on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging, we're going to talk about it, we're going to unbox it, and we're going to see where it goes from there. We'll do some Rob Van Dam comparisons as well. So without further ado, let's get down to it. Let's take a look at the packaging. So the cool thing, or not so cool thing, depending on where you sit, this is the same exact packaging as the regular edition Rob Van Dam. Of course, they use the same packaging. The chases are in there, but the chases have, of course, a different outfit on them or something different to them. But the packaging is the regular RVD Elite. You can see the big window box. You got the RVD figure, of course, we'll talk about. Got extra hands. You got the chair. You got WWE logo, RVD Elite Series 91, right up there at the top. RVD on the side of the package right there, looking only like he could look. And then on this side, you got the True Effects. You got the Certified Authentic. You got RVD. You got all that fun stuff there. And on the back, we got the tail of the tape. We got the glamour shot of him in the ring. Of course, that is the regular edition gear. We got the tail of the tape and the blurb. And then we got the cross-sell. We unboxed every single one of these on the channel, so go back and check out those videos if you, for some reason, missed them. A pretty good set all in all. So let's see what it says in the back about RVD. From Battle Creek, Michigan. Beautiful Kellogg's up there a lot. I think Kellogg's moved their corporate office, though. I think they moved to Chicago from Battle Creek. But as a kid, that's where you always knew Battle Creek, Michigan from, was Kellogg's cereal. 6 feet tall, 235 pounds. Finisher, the old 5-star frog splash. Career highlights, WWE Champion, ECW Champion, Intercontinental Champion. Whether stealing the show at Raw, SmackDown, or ECW, everything is cool when you're Rob Van Dam. Of course it is. And RVD, a favorite of mine, as you guys know, so I'm very happy to have this one on me. So without further ado, let's pull him out of the package. Gonna be nice and gentle. Off to the side. See you later. Now we get a little plastic prison. There's that nice white chair with him right there. Got that. You got the extra hands. Then you got RVD himself, giving it the old RVD thumbprints. Looks really good. Got the old thumbs. Pop the chair out. Pop the hands out. Pop the hands out. Pop RVD out. And we are officially off to the races. See you later. There it is. All right, chair. We've seen this before. It is a chair, but it's a nice gray chair. Usually we get a black chair, something like that. It's a little whitish gray, almost chrome edition. So a little something different. WWE logo on it, but at the end of the day, it is a chair. But I'm always happy to get a chair, especially with RVD, of course, a big part of his offense, as we all know. And then we do get 2 gripping hands here on RVD. You can hold that chair, you can do whatever. Both hands are gloved. Seen these before, we'll see them again, I'm sure. So there it is. Now this RVD, of course, comes with the thumb hands, which are always good. Unfortunately, a little scrape off on the thumb on the paint. We see that historically with these thumb hands. I don't know what it is, but the paint is never very good on the thumbs. I've noticed that. But once again, black hands here, black painted on wrist tape. Forearm tape on RVD. Same RVD head as the regular edition, of course. Same body, same everything as far as looks go. But where we have difference, obviously Van Dam on the side here, I forgot to mention that. The difference is the singlet, and that's where the controversy arises, is in the singlet here. Of course, you've got the yin and yang right there with the rising sun going on. Nice white and red splatter throughout. But of course, as we know, that is historically, apparently, offensive to much of a population of the world, I guess, that are, from Japan or have Japan ancestors, all that kind of stuff. So this was one of those ones that many people didn't know about. I saw a lot of people in the comments when this was announced being canceled. I was one of them. I was not aware of the historical significance, all that kind of stuff with it. So it caught a lot of by surprise, and it obviously caught Mattel by surprise, just like the Chief J Strongbow. And it is crazy, though. That is a big corporation, Mattel. You think they'd have people that look into all these things and study these things, and it's crazy that they had 2 of those so close together. Very, very strange, but it is what it is, and we'll never, unfortunately, get this RVD released like we'd like it to be, because it is historical. Like I said, it's WrestleMania 23. He wore this in that, Team ECW versus Team WWE at that Mania. But very, very iconic singlet for him. Even though it's offensive to a lot of people, this is a very, very iconic singlet with RVD. So you got the front there, the nice colors. On the back, a little bit more splatter paint. You've got, of course, the yin and yang. But the really cool thing here, and you guys know, die-hard ECW guy right here from when I was a kid, you got ECW down the back there. So it's really cool to get the ECW letters on a figure. Look great on your ECW shelf, of course, all that kind of fun stuff. But a very, very cool figure. Controversy aside, fit him on here. He fits, of course, on a ringside stand. Use discount code Kyle, save 10%, of course. But fits perfectly on the ringside stand. You get the regular edition RVD. Once again, another iconic singlet, the tiger stripe one. I would say this one is more iconic than this one. I would say that. And then, of course, the original RVD Elite way back in the day. So we got 3 RVD Elites technically. But if you're a completist of Mattel, things like that, to me, you don't count this. I don't count the Chief J. I don't count this. I don't count the Jeff Hardy Series 1. Yes, there's some of those out there, but this was discontinued. This was never sold for the general public. You could never walk at any time in your life to Target, Walmart, Ringside Collectibles, and pick this figure up, Chief J, Jeff Hardy. So for me, you don't have to count it. But for me also, if somebody comes to me with something like this, me being the completionist I am, me being the RVD fan I am, Ultimate Warrior fan, I mean, I got one of the Warriors right there, one of the unreleased Warriors. I'm not going to pass that up, and that's how I sit on these things. And some of you guys agree with me, some of you guys probably do not. But when I had the opportunity to pick this one up, I couldn't pass it up, just being an RVD fan like I said. Anyways, that's it. We already saw the review on this one, so it's a lot of trade-off, but the big thing here is the unreleased nature of it, and of course the singlet changes and the controversy around that. But what do you guys think in the comments down below? You guys got any thoughts on these? I would say be careful because there is a lot of customs of these going around. There's a bunch on eBay right now. You can definitely tell, but not everybody's going to be able to tell. So just be extra careful if you are looking at purchasing one of these. Make sure you know what you're getting is the real deal. That's my pro tip of the day there. But let me know your thoughts on the ECW, RVD, anything else you want to talk about these other two. You can chime in with those as well in the comments below. And then, of course, you made it this far. You might as well like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bell. As you guys know, we're unboxing everything wrestling here on the channel. On top of Marvel Legends, Thundercats, Turtles, Marvels, everything under the sun is being unboxed on the channel after all. So make sure you subscribe. You don't want to miss a video. And then, of course, you can follow along on Patreon for early access to a lot of content, bonus videos, exclusive content, giveaways, a lot of fun on the Patreon, and best of all, you get to support the channel. You can hit me up on social media at SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, and ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. So for Mr. Monday Night RVD, I'm Mr. Thursday Afternoon Kyle, and I'll see you guys all real soon.